If you guys aren't aware, probably from the title of my podcast, from a lot of hints that I've been throwing on social media. So if you don't follow me on social media, girl, what are you waiting for? There's just a lot of things that have happened these past few years. I think it was from the moment that I launched my brand that I realized a lot of things about myself, my business, the future of YLB. Most of it is good. There was a lot of learning, a lot of growing, a lot of challenges. And I think this episode in particular is going to be about growth and why we think of growth as a bad thing, especially when you are in the middle of these challenges where you might think that the world is literally falling apart, your business is literally falling apart, but you don't realize that you are in the most beautiful part of your journey, and it's actually taking so much out of you to level up and become that next version of yourself that your business needs you to be. And we're holding on to what we have or what we thought we needed to be, and we're refusing to let go. And that's why you are probably going through like this weird phase in your business. And it's why I went through a weird phase in my business for the past 2 years. And I can't believe it took me 2 years to realize this. But you know what? Everybody's growth is different. Everybody faces different challenges in their business in different times. Some people learn faster because they have the right support system. Some people takes them a little bit longer because they don't have that support system or those mindsets around them that challenge them to become better, right? So moving forward with my podcast, and the reason why I decided to change the name is because I needed to let go of where I started off at. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey and where I got started off, and my future, my plans for YLB, and even Beyond Lashing, because that is the name moving forward. So the reason why I decided to name this podcast episode "This Is the End" is because I am letting go of who I used to be. I am letting go of Lash Baby's Killing It because it no longer serves me or serves you. And for a long time, Lash Baby's Killing It was just something that I did for fun. It wasn't something that I took seriously. And for 4 seasons, get it, this has been going on for a long time, okay? It hasn't just been the 3 seasons that I decided to start the podcast. Lash Baby's Killing It started off on YouTube since the beginning of my journey. I would say 5 years ago already. So Lash Baby's Killing It has been around for a very long time. I started off on YouTube, and it was just something that I did for fun when I decided to get to connect with artists in the industry. And it didn't matter if they were beginner lash artists or if they were successful. It was something that I used to just connect. When I decided to actually start the podcast, I jumped onto Spotify, and that's when I decided to interview successful people and connect with like-minded people. About 2 years ago, I went through a very difficult time in Lash Baby's Killing It journey, and I was at the point where I wanted to give up, not just the podcast, but like my business, everything. I was wondering, why am I even doing this? What is the point of this? And it all came down, it all triggered from the podcast. A lot of things happened, and it made me no longer want to do this. I forgot the reason why I even started to begin with. And that feeling of why am I doing this also triggered my business and my YouTube and my whole career. And I let it affect me in so many ways. And at the same time, I regret it, but I've learned from it, and I'm so glad I did not give up, because imagine if I would have literally just cut the cord on everything because of the way that I was feeling with what happened with my podcast. It would have been really sad, you know, and I'm glad that it had opened my eyes to a lot of things, not just being careful with people within the industry, people who were taking advantage of me, who were using me as a stepping stone to their career, didn't really care about my friendship. And I feel like moving forward, I want to be honest with you guys, and I want to be upfront, because a lot of people view me and they think of me as being like this very confident person. Just because I put myself out there, I'm not afraid to show my face. But the reality is that I was never like that. I was the most insecure person ever. Growing up, I really didn't talk, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but you can kind of tell in the way that I pronounce words or say certain words. It was, I don't know, it was a really weird place in my life. I didn't really talk, and now that I'm like putting myself out there and people hear my voice, to me, it's an insecurity because I was always shut down growing up. So to me, my voice never really mattered. And I know a lot of you guys can relate and think that your voice doesn't matter, that it's not special, but it made me realize that a lot of you guys probably relate to me and like me because of my voice. I time and time again, I hear people saying, I love your voice. Like, your voice is so soothing. There's something about your voice. And I'm like, what? To me, it's mind blowing that you guys love my voice, because to me, I was so scared of my voice. And I want to use this platform to reach other people by using my voice and speaking up and saying the truth and not being afraid to hold back, because I feel like I've held myself back for so many things in my career. And honestly, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm at the point of crying, but like a good kind of crying. Like, I don't want to sit here and say boohoo me, but like, I'm talking about growth, and I'm being very vulnerable here and talking about that. I have grown so much, and to go from being scared of my voice and thinking I will never be good enough, thinking that, I'm ugly, there's better looking people than me. Like, why am I putting myself out there? Like, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys can relate to that. And most of you guys use that as an excuse. Yes, I'm going there. I'm saying it how it is. Most of you guys use that as an excuse of why you don't put yourself out there, and you have the fear of being seen. That used to be me. That used to be me. For years and years, I wanted to put myself on YouTube, and I never did it because I was too afraid of what are people going to think about me? What about the people in high school that I used to know? Like, what are they going to think? People are going to judge me by the way that I talk, the way that I look, like I'm not pretty enough. There's better skilled people out there. Like, why am I doing this, right? In the moment that I decided to shut that little voice down and finally do it, is the day that my life changed. And obviously, throughout my career, there has been so many things that I have learned to do, learned to grow, and I'm now seeing myself as a different person, all because I took action and decided to put myself out there. I wasn't confident. I was so insecure. But by me putting myself out there, it has built my confidence. It has built my relationship with people. It has built my voice and my belief in myself, and all to think that it was just because of my little content that I posted. So with Beyond Lashing, I don't want it to just be about lashing. It's beyond that. And I think a lot of people don't realize that your success comes from you taking action and from you believing in yourself and working on yourself. And a lot of people think, oh, like, you need to be super confident and you have to believe in yourself before you even start. And the reality is that you don't. Like, those are skills that you build over time, from repetition, from taking action, from doing the hard things and being disciplined and consistent and doing it every single day, even when you're not feeling motivated. And again, motivation, it comes and goes. It's like a little spark that fuels you for like a day or two, and then it leaves. So if you're depending on motivation to get you started, to do the things that you've always wanted to do, then I'm here to tell you that it's never going to happen. If you're relying on motivation to even get started, it's never going to happen. Just start. Honestly, that's all it takes, is for you to start. And if you're somebody that's been wanting to post yourself on social media, you've been wanting to create content, you know what you need to do in order to get ahead, but you're not doing it because you have the fear of being seen, or you feel like you're not confident enough, then I'm here to tell you that it starts today. The way you build that is by you being yourself, by you posting, even if you feel cringe, even if you think that other people are going to think that you're cringy. But you know what? If these people think you're cringe, it's because they're too afraid to put themselves out there. So why are you depending, or why do you care so much about what other people think when you know that deep down they would never, ever do what you do? Just last week, I heard about a family member still talking down to me and my husband, and belittling our business and making it seem like we aren't successful and like we're wasting our time. And that was keywords. You're wasting your time. I don't know why you're still doing this. You should just quit. So when I hear that family members closest to me are still saying that, knowing that I've been doing this for 6 years. And get it, they still believe that I don't do anything. They believe that I sit at home and not do anything. Meanwhile, I'm posting content on all platforms. I have a mentorship program. I do online courses. I constantly, recording, push and record. I opened up my availability to be lashing full time now. So I'm working, last week I worked 7 days a week, which get it, I haven't done that since like the beginning of my career. And I truly enjoy it now. Like, I don't know what it was that I stopped, but I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? If somebody wants to book with me, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give myself the opportunity to meet new people and just put myself out there, because if I don't keep expanding and growing my skills, then it's never going to grow, right? To think that family members still believe that I don't do anything with my time, that I literally just sit at home and not do anything, when I am making probably triple of what they make in a week. And at first it kind of angered me, because I'm like, why do they still think that what I do is nothing? Like, they still believe that my little business is not doing anything. To me, it makes me feel like they're looking down on me. But then the more that I thought about it, the more time that I've had to like sit and reflect on why they think that, it made me realize that those are only their insecurities speaking. And they think that because we're not where we want to be money wise, dream house wise, our dream cars, get it? I do have my dream car. Okay, first of all, I just don't flaunt it. But to me, it blows my mind, because I'm like, they say those things because they're afraid that when we do reach our goals and we hit the lifestyle that we want, it's only going to prove to them that we did it, and they don't want to see us succeed. Or they say those things because they're trying to protect us. They don't want to see us fail. But what they don't know is that we fail every single day. I am failing time and time and time again every single day. And just because I have a product line and I do coaching and I do mentorship doesn't mean I'm successful. Like, everybody's success is different. And I think a lot of people view where I stand as being successful. But once you have a product line and people depend on you, there's so much on the line. Literally, you have so much on the line. And I think people jump into the product line because they think, oh, I'm going to make so much money. But then they start realizing that, their business is taking so many expenses out. And, the money that you're making off your products is to invest back into your business. If you guys want a full episode about that, I can definitely do an episode just about the product line and investing in your business. Definitely will be a good topic. Going back to what I was saying about people not believing in you. Yeah, it angered me, but at the same time, like, that just added more fuel to my fire, because I'm like, if they don't believe in me, let me prove them wrong. Like, I want to shut them up, but at the same time, just like, I don't care, because I've been doing this for so long that I'm at the point where I do not give a S about what anybody thinks about me, what they say about me, because I know that I'm on the right path. They will never have the to do what I do. And they only say those things because they're trying to protect me. They want me to quit now before things get worse. But I'm like, I'm already full in invested. I've been invested for 6 years. So if I quit now, what was the whole point of me doing all of this? Yes, I get it. There have been some people out there who have quit because they just saw no future in it, which is understandable. But I feel like my purpose and my mission with what I do is so different than just the product line. It's so different than just teaching someone to lash. I feel like the reason why I decided to name my podcast Beyond Lashing is because I want to use my voice and my platform to touch hearts. I want to use this as a safe place where you guys can come and really grow with me and understand that it's not just about lashing. It's not just about your clients. It's not just about making money. It's beyond that. It's beyond lashing. And I think that I have purposely, or God has purposely put me in this weird position and has completely taken me out of the lash industry, because again, I don't fit in with the cliques. I don't fit in with these brands. I don't fit in with anybody. And I think I've been such a loner for such a long time. And even when I have tried to make friends, I've been backstabbed, I've been used, and it sucks. it really sucks to be in that position, and it's taught me so many things, but it's made me realize that I am on my own journey, on my own path, and there's nothing wrong with being lonely in this journey. But at the same time, like, I want to reach out. I want to reach out to you who is listening and tell you that you don't have to be alone. Like, you can easily DM me, you can easily reach out to me, and we can do this together, because when in community, things get done better. You don't feel so isolated, you don't feel so alone. But something about being a business owner in the industry really teaches you that is very competitive. And it sucks because I've always thought, there's no need for competition, but like, it's made me realize it is. Yeah, it really is. And I can definitely do another episode all about competition in the lash industry. But like, if you view it differently, friendly competition is a good thing, because it actually inspires you to do more, to keep going, and not in a way compete as in like, oh, I can do better than you, but like, if she can do it, so can I. And I'm going to prove to myself that I can do it too. That's friendly competition, okay? Anyways, I feel like I'm going off topic. That was not where I was going. Speaking about my lash journey, most of you guys don't know, but I started my YouTube channel 1 year into my lashing journey. And at that time, I was still learning, I was still new. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you guys are a year in, you guys have that insecurity, like, you're still not good enough. And I felt the exact same way, but like, I had so many people in my DMs asking me, how do you do this? How do you do that? And it's not that I started my YouTube videos to like educate other people. It was just to share what I knew at the moment. So now that I go back and I look, or even just view myself, I'm like, wow, you can definitely tell that I was so insecure, that I was so scared, that I didn't know what I was doing, but I had the balls to actually do it because I wanted to help. And to me, it was all about serving my community. And to this day, it still is about serving my community. And I do what I do because I want to see other people succeed and I want to help them. And it's kind of sad that being a YouTuber really has separated me from the masses, because the industry doesn't really like YouTubers. They view them as the reason why this industry has gone down. And at the same time, I never did my channel or my videos to take away from the importance of education. If anything, I did it to help those people who were still struggling after they have taken their first initial course. Because I know what it feels like to pay thousands of dollars, walk out of a course, and still feel alone and not know what to do or if I even learned anything. So my videos are to help those who need that little extra boost. So after starting my YouTube channel, I had so many requests to do online courses and to do in-person training, which I thought it was kind of a waste of my time, because I'm like, why would I do that and charge you guys when I'm already doing it for free on YouTube? But I'm like, okay, if people are willing to invest in me, then let's go ahead and do that, right? So moving forward, I ended up jumping into education, like full-on education. This was 3 years into my career, and I feel like at this point I was doing really well for myself. I felt like my skills were really improving. A lot of brands were starting to notice me. I had so many brands in my DMs, and I get it, I was just the influencer. I was just the YouTube girl that these brands wanted to connect with me, because obviously I had numbers, and if you have numbers, brands want you to support them, right? So I thought I was making it big time. I had so many friends in the industry. I had so much engagement. I felt like I was popping off, right? And of course, my trainings and my courses and everything was going smoothly. I even did a tour, which I think that was the peaking point of my career. And also I wouldn't say the downfall, but where I really started to see a lot, like, I was coming down the hill and I was trying to claw my way back. But that's when I really started seeing the industry for what it was. And it was at that moment where I launched my products. So I was doing courses, I was traveling for my trainings, and I had officially launched my products. And I realized that the industry, or the people within the industry, don't view you as competition as long as you're on their side and they can use you. And when the moment that I launched my product line, it's like crickets. Everybody who I thought were my friends or the people who supported me all of a sudden ghosted me, did not congratulate me. Like nobody said anything towards me moving forward, starting my product line. And I was like, wait a minute, like what? Like if I was your friend and if you started a product line, like I would be your biggest cheerleader. Like, and that's what I did for my friends that did start their product line. Like I was in their comments, like congratulating them, like, oh my God, girl, you're doing it. But the moment that I did it, nobody said anything. And that's when it made me realize, oh my God, I've been competition. I've been the competition all along. And these people were only keeping me as their friend just to keep tabs on me. And now I'm realizing that I was never their friend to begin with. Me realizing that and letting go of that hurt took so much out of me because I was still trying to hold on to those friendships and to those relationships. And the moment that I decided to let go was when I realized that it was never real to begin with. People don't realize that when you get betrayed or when you get hurt by friends, so-called friends, it feels like a breakup. If it hurts more than you breaking up with a man, right? Like, I don't know what it is. Especially when you went above and beyond for people, and like it really sucked. And even to this day, I'm still holding on to those good memories because I do wish them well. And just because we broke up or we have moved on to different places of our lives without me being involved in it, I still wish them the best. I still want nothing but the best. And obviously, I'm pretty sure they really do not care about me anymore. And that's perfectly fine, But going through that and losing that made me realize that I needed to focus on my business because I was too busy elevating others. I was too busy building other people's businesses and I was putting mine on the back burner. And I'm just like, wait a minute, like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I putting more importance on other people and their business when they're not even doing that for me? So it was right then when I realized I'm going to go full force in on my business. So I started my product line. I launched more products. In the last 2 years, I've launched hundreds and hundreds of products. And I also decided to be the first one in the industry to launch a membership style type of business. And I got even more hate from that because it was so affordable. It also cost me to not want to be seen. Giving myself the time to take a step back and realize a lot of things, mainly within myself, it has given me the growth that I needed to become this next level of myself. And this video again is all about growth and the whole journey of YLB. Why I'm sitting here today telling you guys that your growth matters. And people view growth as like whatever, it's like one day to the other, right? But growth sometimes takes 2 years, especially if you're like recovering from like one particular thing, right? Like childhood trauma, or say your confidence, like all of that comes from our beliefs, from how we were raised, what people would told us about ourselves, other people saying stuff about you that makes you wonder, like, is that true? So since I've been on this growth journey for the past few years, honestly, since the beginning of my career, I've had to learn from my mistakes time and time again. And everybody's journey is different. Everybody grows in different times, like I keep mentioning. But I hope that you guys never go through what I went through. And honestly, this is why I'm being honest about everything and why I'm putting it out there, because I want you guys to have an open mind and also protect yourself at the same time. If you're too closed off, you're not open to opportunities. But if you're way too open, people will take advantage of you, okay? So you need to understand that there's a beautiful balance about being open to people, being open to receiving, but also protecting yourself and your business, because at the end of the day, your business does come first. And for me, I never viewed it as that way because I viewed it as being selfish. And it was probably because I was such a huge people pleaser. And don't get me wrong, I still am, but at a healthy balance, okay? I was too focused on growing other people that I never took the time to grow myself and my business. And I had to learn the hard way that my business comes first. My health and my priorities come first. I went from working 7 days a week, doing so much for others, creating free content for YouTube, posting like crazy, helping other people put money back in their pocket. Meanwhile, my business and my health and my mental stability was suffering badly. And I'm telling you guys, that's one of the biggest reasons why I had to take a step back, because I didn't realize that I had neglected myself for years. And something about when it clicks for you, like when you look at yourself in the mirror and you realize, like, I don't know who that person is. Like, I had let other people's opinions about myself really affect me to the point where I couldn't even recognize myself. I didn't like the person I was looking in the mirror because, one, I gained so much weight from prioritizing everybody else's needs except for mine. And I hit my tipping point. And last year, I was at the heaviest I've ever been. And I'm pretty sure you guys can tell from how like puffy my face was. And I was so unhappy with myself, and I was miserable in my business. And I'm telling you guys, I was at the point where I just wanted to cut the cord and just say, I'm done. Like, I have poured so much of myself to other people. And for what? People don't even care about me. It wasn't until I made up my mind to change that I finally realized my potential, because I was too busy growing others that I wasn't growing myself. And if you guys don't know, like, I love growth. I love listening to podcasts about personal growth. I love reading books about personal growth. And I'm constantly looking for ways to like improve my mindset and just become better every day. But I didn't realize that I wasn't taking anything in, because I was too busy pouring and pouring and pouring. And when you pour from an empty cup, it's hard for you to receive, because you're kind of like blocking the cup with your own hands from even letting yourself receive abundance. I hope that made sense. But I think that's when it really triggered, and I decided to go back to the gym. I decided to put myself first. I decided to focus on my mental health, and I really started taking action on myself. And I don't know what it was. Like, I didn't realize that when you prioritize yourself, when you prioritize your health and your mental being, your whole business changes. Like, you don't even realize the potential that you have hidden. But the moment you take action, you're just like, wait a minute, like, I've been hiding this version of myself for what? Because I was too scared. And I think a lot of people don't realize that the fear of success is real. It is very real. And I didn't realize that I was one of those people where I was so scared of my potential, mainly because of the thoughts in my mind of what people would tell me. Growing up, I had people in my life, people that should be nurturing and caring, tell me, you are good for nothing, you will never amount to anything, you will never be good enough. And even though I worked hard to try to prove that person wrong and also prove to myself that I'm not that person, I ended up realizing that I was still holding on to those thoughts without me even knowing. And the moment that I decided to really heal and let that go was when things truly changed for me. So when I started to heal from my childhood trauma, things that people did to me, things that people have said about me or said it to my face, that's when I really started seeing growth within myself, because I was able to not only silence those thoughts, because I realized those were not my thoughts. The things that you say repeatedly to yourself, like, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I will never amount to anything, those are not your thoughts. Those are thoughts that other people have put into your head. And the moment that you realize that you can actually overcome those thoughts is when things change. And that's when real growth starts to happen. And realize when you are actually going through that and healing from that, it's going to be so hard. Something about healing trauma is probably one of the hardest things that you will do as a human being. But it's also the most beautiful thing, because when you decide to let go, it truly brings out a different side of you that just wants to be happy, that just wants to grow and really succeed in life. And I hope that when you are going through that part in your journey, that you can reach out to me in case you need to talk, because I'm telling you, it gets lonely. It gets very, very hard, but it's also the most rewarding. The reason why I'm talking about childhood trauma and all this is because it has really been part of my lash journey. And holding on to ugly beliefs and negative beliefs is holding you back. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. And again, something about being honest can be the scary thing. It truly is been scary, because I've been wanting to speak about this. I've been wanting to talk about certain things like this, but I've been told, no, you shouldn't be honest about it. You shouldn't talk about those things. And something about too much honesty is like you're opening the doors for other people to attack you. But you know what? I don't care. There's nothing anybody can do to me now or say to me now that's going to trigger me or affect me, because I've gone through so much growth these past 2 years that I've let go and overcame so many things. So there is literally nothing anybody can say to me or use against me, because at the end of the day, I know who I am, I know what I stand for, and I know the kind of person that I want to become. And I see her and I want to be her so bad. And honestly, that is what has built my confidence, from going from that shy girl that refused, that I'm telling you guys, I refused for 10 years. I wanted to be on YouTube, but I never did it because I used the excuse of like, oh, I'm not pretty enough. I don't know what people are going to think about me. Like, I was so scared of being seen. And the moment that I decided to put myself out there, it changed the way that I view myself. Like, my confidence, obviously there was a lot of things that I had to work on myself, but like by me taking action, it changed everything about how I view myself. And me doing the things that nobody in my family or anybody that I know of will ever be willing to do, it has changed the way that I view myself. And to hear that, family members are still talking down to me, they literally view me as I'm like nothing, right? Like, I don't offer anything to this world because I don't have a regular 9 to 5 job. Like, I know I'm on the right path because something about what I'm doing triggers them. So it's fine, like, I'm not here to please anybody other than God and my purpose and what I need to do to serve other people. But if people don't align with me and my views and my mission, then you know what? I can still love them at a distance, but my focus is my mission, okay? And my mission is to touch your heart. My mission is to grow with you and just grow together. Like, to me, like, I feel like I've been on fire lately because I know now what my mission is. I know now what my purpose is. And I just hope to be an inviting home for people who need someone like me in their life, because I know that I wish I would have had that when I first got started. I wish I would have had a mentor, someone to be like, hey, like, I'm going through this. Like, I don't understand why I'm going through this. But you realize that your challenges, if you actually think about it, those are gifts from God, because He is doing something in your life that maybe those are little things that you need to learn from. Maybe He's challenging you in different ways. People think that when their whole life is flipped upside down and something horrible is happening in their life, they think, why me? And their first instinct is to become victim-minded and like cry a river about it, right? You know what? You're allowed to. You have feelings. You're allowed to feel a certain way. Then you have to really put yourself in the position like, why am I going through this? And if it keeps happening again and again and again, maybe it's because you haven't learned your lesson the first time. So, and when you are in business for yourself, you are going to go through challenges day in, day out. And you kind of have to grow a backbone. Like, you really do. And I think that for me was the hardest part, was like realizing that I need to grow a backbone, sit and learn to say no to certain people and stand firm, but also know when is the right move to take, what is the right move to take. Do I need to take a few steps back in order for me to take a half a step forward? Like, those are things that you're gonna learn as you grow. And I hope that through my podcast moving forward, I can hopefully be there and teach you some of these things. So again, this is all about growing together and learning together. And it's beyond lashing at this point, because something about a sisterhood or coming together as a community and actually learning together is so beautiful. And I'm telling you guys, it sucks being lonely. And I felt like I was lonely for such a long time, especially these last 2 years. And yeah, I have friends in the industry, but that have gone through similar things, so it was easy to connect in that way. But it's still very lonely when you are in business for yourself. So if you feel like you're at a point in your career when you feel like your back is against the wall, you literally feel stuck, you don't know what you are doing, it's probably because you have allowed yourself to be comfortable for too long. Oops. And I'm saying this out of love, okay? So do not come for me, but the only reason why you're stuck is because you're way too comfortable with your circumstances. You have not changed something in your life that has allowed you to learn and grow from the reason why you're stuck. And that's why you are where you are, okay? Maybe you haven't been able to grow your clientele. What are you doing? What are you doing that is not allowing you to gain clientele? Is it your skills? Something about your work is not improving, it's not where it needs to be at. Say you're 6 months in and you still don't know how to create fans. You have been playing it safe way too far, because at 6 months, you should be way ahead of your skills. And I'm saying this with all honesty, okay? I'm saying this from a place of love. At 6 months, you should be pretty ahead. And if you don't know how to create fans, you don't know how to place your lashes, you're still struggling with retention, then what are you doing that is not allowing you to advance and grow? Are you not practicing every day that you need to? Are you not investing in your education? Have you not seeked out a mentor that's going to help you see the things that you are doing wrong and guide you on how to fix it? Okay, so the reason why I'm talking about growth in this video is because we are at a point, at least me, I'm at a point in my career where I can call BS on everything. I've seen every excuse under the sun. I've made every excuse under the sun. I'm gonna start talking to you guys how I talk to my sisters and even to myself, because when I see BS, I call BS. And half of the time, like most of the time, I was the nice girl, I was the nice girl being like, oh, you're doing fine, you're killing it. And yes, you are. I'm still gonna be that girl, but I'm also gonna be the one to tell you that you are where you are because of the choices that you keep making. I hope that when you jump onto my podcast, you view it as like, okay, my sister is going to tell me the truth today. And you know what? Maybe what she says, I really have to listen and pay attention, because I know that when I turn to my older sister, my older sister tells me the truth. And I love that. I respect when someone can easily tell me the truth, when somebody could be like, hey girl, like you're really effing up. Like, what are you doing? Like you need to get your S together. Like, I love that. And honestly, it's the biggest reason why I got a personal trainer, because I need someone to hold me accountable. So from sister to sister, from lash bestie to lash bestie, the same way that I want you to hold me accountable, I'm going to hold you accountable. So the moment that you said that you were going to pick up those tweezers and you were going to build your clientele and you wanted to change your life, but yet you're not doing anything about it, and then you're crying about why you're not getting the results that you want, but yet you turn and realize I'm not doing half of the things that I said I was going to do, then I think it's time to change. And change comes from doing the hard things, even when you don't want to. Do you think I want to wake up every day and go to the gym and work out? Do you think I want to, get up early and take in early clients and lash 12 hours every day? No, of course not. But money's money. Do you think that I want to create free content every single day and help you guys succeed and me not get a single dime out of it? Of course not. I don't want to be doing that every single day, but I do it because I care about your growth and I want other people to succeed. Okay. So I do the hard things even when I'm feeling unmotivated. I do the hard things knowing the impact and the change that it can make on my life and on your life. So why are we still making excuses? Why are we still getting up every day and be like, oh, I don't feel motivated today. Oh, I don't feel like it today. If you're depending too much on your feelings and how you feel, you're not going to get nowhere in life. And that's the sad reality. That is the sad truth. And I wish somebody would have told me that 2 years ago when I was really letting everything take control of my life. I feel like I'm in a position right now where I'm able to tell you guys that we need to step it up. We really do. You need to step it up. I need to step it up. We need to step it up. Okay. So when you actually realize discomfort is a sign that you are on the right path. When I decided to launch my YouTube channel, people didn't like that. That was my discomfort. I still had to do it because I told myself I was going to do it right. When I decided to launch my product line and brands that I was working with didn't like it, I still did it because that was my future on the line. When I decided to launch my membership and the industry didn't think that was a cool idea, I still did it because I knew that doing the difficult things and doing things that people are not willing to do, I knew that was going to change my life. I knew that was going to change other people's lives. So why am I going to continue doing what other people are doing when I know it's not going to benefit me? When you actually think about discomfort and you think about doing the uncomfortable things, remember the first day you picked up the tweezers. Remember the first day that you went into your lash training, your lash course, whether it be online or in person, and you decided to pick up those tweezers and you realize this is harder than I thought. Yoyis on YouTube made it look so easy. Like, this girl, my trainer, makes it look so easy. Why is this so hard, right? Like, you remember how uncomfortable you felt. You felt defeated. You started working on your first model. It took you 6 hours. For me, it was 2 days, 6 hours each time. So in total, 12 hours that I worked on my model to barely even do half a set. Remember that day? Remember how uncomfortable you felt? But despite how uncomfortable you felt, you still kept pushing. You still decided to work on another model. You still decided to try to learn how to make fans. And even though you felt so uncomfortable making fans because you felt like, I'm never going to get this down. And then now you think about it, you're years in, and now you make beautiful sets. Well, I don't know how far you are in your career. If you actually think about the first day compared to now, you decided to keep pushing despite the uncomfortableness. Is that even a word? You decided to keep pushing even when you felt uncomfortable. And that is when growth happened, right? Like, you see how far your skills have come. That is because you allowed yourself to grow even when you didn't feel comfortable. When you're feeling stuck in your skills or in your business, is because you have gotten way too comfortable where you're at. And that is not a beautiful position to be in. I'm telling you guys, it's not. Because then your skills start to suffer, your client relationships start to suffer, your business starts to suffer, the amount of money you're making starts to suffer, and your mental health starts to suffer. And you don't want to be in that position, okay? And going back to the confidence thing, I can already guarantee that half of you are thinking, no, Yoyis, you don't understand. I don't have any confidence. I have zero confidence. I'm not as pretty. I'm not as valuable. There's nothing that I can do or say that people will take interest in me. My life is not exciting. My life is boring. My life is boring too. Like, you guys have seen my vlogs. Like, every single day I do the same thing. I wake up, I work out, I have clients, I eat lunch, I eat dinner. There's nothing that I do that is exciting about my life. Like, literally, I work every single day. If I'm not on my computer, I'm on a client. If I'm not on a client, I'm sitting here recording for you guys. It is boring, okay? But yes, something about my life that people are interested, something about my voice that people get, they want to listen to me. I don't know what it is. Like, when I started my channel, I really thought, ain't nobody gonna listen to me. Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares what I have to say. But like, 100 and almost 40,000 followers support me every single day. Like, that is wild. You're here sitting on my podcast listening to me because you think that what I have to say is worth your time and it's valuable and there's something that you can learn from me, right? That is wild, because when I first started, I thought the same thing. Nobody cares about me. There's nothing that I can potentially say that will get people interested to like tune in, right? So do not give me those excuses. Do not tell me what you are thinking right now, because it is not the truth. Do you realize that every single negative thought you have in your mind is a lie? It is a lie that somebody planted there, or that because of what life has given you, you started believing that about yourself. But it's not the truth. You don't need to believe into those lies anymore. You have the power to change those beliefs. You do realize that, right? You have the power to completely change your life, all from changing those beliefs in yourself. And again, confidence comes from action. It comes from tuning out that ugly noise and putting in new thoughts in your mind. And a lot of people will like, it doesn't work. I've tried looking at myself in the mirror and it feels so cringe. It feels cringe because you have never done it before. You haven't done it consistently enough to start believing it. Plus, your actions don't align with what you're thinking. So of course, you're not going to believe it. So the moment that you actually start putting those actions and that discipline in daily, that's when you start believing what you are telling yourself. So action is more important than the way you view yourself, the way you think. And I'm telling you, action and discipline is going to change everything for you. So in a way, I'm going to end this video off, this episode, by talking about the identity shift that you need to have as a business owner. And for me, that was the most challenging thing that I could have ever done, but the most beautiful and the most rewarding, because then I wouldn't be sitting here today talking about the rebrand of Lash Baby is killing it, the rebrand of myself. And I want to start showing up as this version that I've always dreamed of myself. And it's crazy to me because, you know, time and time again, people would tell me, "Oh, you're a leader, like you're a natural born leader," and I'm like, "Ew." Why? Like, I never understood that, right? And to me, it was like kind of triggering that people viewed me as a leader. And I never wanted to accept that role. Even when I launched my product line, I had people working for me. You know, I was doing so much. And when people look at me, yeah, I can see why they would think that way about me, but I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe that version of myself because I thought she was in the future. And I refused to see that it was me now. So I played it off and I continued to be the old version of myself because it was comfortable for me. And I didn't want to accept the responsibilities that I had put myself in. And it wasn't until I realized that I was still allowing those negative things that people would say about me affect me because I refused to see that side of myself, because I was still believing what people were saying about me, that I was never good enough, that I will never amount to anything. And again, I had to go through that growth for me to realize, like, okay, this is who I am now. So what I mean by having an identity shift, close your eyes for a second and think about the person that you've always wanted to become. You know, maybe you really truly see yourself as a boss babe. And for a long time, like, to me, that was kind of a trigger word because I'm like, I'm not a boss babe, like, you know, probably because I'm married, you know, like I'm happily married. I love that my husband's a provider. Like, he takes really good care of me. He goes above and beyond to make sure that I'm taken care of, you know? And yeah, as being a partner, there's also things about me that I want to help and serve him. So for me, I was too scared of being a boss babe because I didn't want to take away from him being my provider. Then when I started realizing, like, I can be a happily married wife and be of service to my husband, but also still be a boss babe. And again, those were beliefs that, you know, were put into me where I'm like, no, I need to like fully submit and not consider myself a boss babe. But I'm just like, I can do both, you know, like there's nothing wrong about me being an entrepreneur and being a hardworking wife while my husband still provides for me. And I can serve him, he can serve me, and we can both take care of each other and grow together, because now we have goals that we want to accomplish. We have things that we want to do in our lives, you know? And with my business, it has given us the opportunity to live outside of a normal life. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people in my life don't understand, what it means to be an entrepreneur, and why we refuse to give up and quit is because the lifestyle that this has provided for us and the future that it can give us. If that is something that you truly want, you want to live that entrepreneurship life, you want to be a boss babe, you want to have a product line, you want to have a salon, and given you don't need those things to be successful. I'm just going to say it here, and I'm going to end up doing a full episode all about this, but you don't need that to be successful. You can be just a lash artist and be successful, okay? And again, these are things that I'm going to talk about in a different episode, but that's the beautiful thing about being a boss babe, is that you can have control of how much money you make, how much you work, and the person you want to become, okay? You need to start showing up as that person. And for a long time, this version of myself, I saw it in the future, and I was too afraid to show up as her because I didn't want people judging me and thinking, oh, who does she think she is? But like, I know who I am. Like, what do you mean? I don't have time for this. Have a clear mind of who you want to be. The best way to become that version of yourself is by taking action and becoming her from this day right now, moving forward. You're never going to become that version of yourself if you don't actually do something about it, right? So this is my whole point of this episode, is that you have the opportunity to grow. You have the opportunity to scale your business and scale yourself to levels that you never thought was imaginable, because you were too afraid to put yourself in positions that was going to give you that growth that you needed to become her. But you can do that. You realize that you can do that. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to be this version of yourself forever. And if you do, okay, you know what? Like, if you're happy with yourself, good, stay where you are, that's fine. But there's nothing wrong with growing. There's nothing wrong with becoming better every day. And people view that as being stuck up. People view that as, oh, you think you're better. But like, yeah, okay. So I want to be better. So why is it triggering for you? Like, if there's people in your life that are telling you that, good for you. Good for you. Because there's something about you that they don't like that's offending them, because they will never amount to the kind of person that you want to become. So do not ever let that be the reason of why you're holding yourself back. And I'm telling you from experience, you don't want to be in that position, because the potential that you have waiting for you is much more beautiful than feeling like you don't want to step on anybody's toes, or you want to be friendly with everybody. No, that's not cool. It's not cool to limit and little yourself for other people to make them comfortable. It's not okay. You're uncomfortable to make somebody else comfortable? Ew. Girl, no, we're not doing that no more. Okay, we're gonna be the best versions of ourselves. We're gonna show up as that girl. We're gonna be boss babes together. We're gonna grow. We're gonna continue. And I hope that you guys follow me and support my Beyond Lashing podcast, because again, this is a new chapter in my life and I'm really excited. I'm really, I'm telling you guys, I was nervous about this for a long time, because I'm like, people know me as Lash Baby's killing it. And I'm actually very happy that I'm going through this rebrand and putting myself in positions that make me uncomfortable. But I know that that's where the real growth comes from. And honestly, I'm very excited about my future and the things that I can do for you guys, because at the end of the day, I do all this to serve you guys, and that to me is my biggest passion. It has been my mission since day one, is to serve my community in ways that other people are not doing. So if you guys did like today's video, make sure to go send me a DM, because I don't know if you guys like these episodes. Like, you guys don't comment, you guys don't engage, so I don't know how we're feeling. So send me a DM, comment on my Instagram. I don't care. Just show me that you guys care, okay? Comment down below, because starting this season 4, I'm going to start posting on YouTube. So if you are seeing this on YouTube, make sure to follow, make sure to subscribe, make sure to go follow me on social media, and let me know how you guys are liking these episodes. All right, then I think that's it for this episode. I think I've been ranting for like a long time, but I think it was a good start for season 4 and the future of my podcast. So I hope you guys continue tuning in and supporting me in my journey. And I love you guys so much. You guys have no idea how much I love and care about you guys. And I just want to see all of us succeed and grow together. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.